Hello, my name's Mark Goodacre, and I'm sitting at Exeter College, Oxford, and thinking at the moment about the synoptic problem. One of the questions that I'm often asked is, why is Luke's genealogy so different from Matthew's? Matthew has his genealogy right at the beginning of the book in Matthew chapter 1, divides everything up into three sets of 14 generations, going from Abraham to David, David to the exile, and then the exile to Jesus. Luke's is very different. He puts it later in the Gospel in chapter 3. And instead of working forward through history, he works backwards. So he begins with Jesus and goes all the way back. And instead of stopping with Abraham, he goes all the way to Adam. Now, you already have a clue there as to why Luke is doing what he's doing, I think, which is that he doesn't want to go back to Abraham. He wants to go all the way back to Adam. He's able to say, Adam, son of God, and get this nice inclusion going where Jesus is son of God, son of the Father from eternity, but he's also descended directly from Adam. So the structure of that's kind of good. It's 77 generations. What a great, round, biblical, evocative number. So that's not unusual to think about either. But what people, I suppose, really want to know is, why is it the names are so different? Why is it that Luke has all these names that don't feature in Matthew? And in particular, why does he not have all those Judean kings that are in Matthew's genealogy? In Matthew's genealogy, you have everybody going through David and Solomon, and then you have all of those kings from Solomon onwards. Luke doesn't have that. I think the thing is, Luke's read 1 and 2 Kings. He knows that most of those kings are kind of corrupt and bad, and he doesn't want Jesus to be descended through that line of those corrupt kings. He's read 1 and 2 Kings. What he does is something quite clever. He goes through a different son of David, through Nathan, the relatively unknown Nathan, and this enables him to do a kind of clever fulfillment of Isaiah 11, because in Isaiah 11 you get the idea that the anointed one will be from the stump of Jesse, he'll rise up from the stump of Jesse. What that means, Jesse is David's father. So what he's saying is that whole great tree of Judean kings is being cut down, and after the tree's been cut down, the shoot comes up, and from that shoot grows the generation that will end up with the Messiah. And that means that we go from Nathan and not through Solomon. I think that's what Luke is correcting things to. And it's a clever piece of rethinking biblical history and how it's fulfilled in Jesus. And what's more, Luke sticks the genealogy in chapter 3 because many a reader has been put off by the fact that Matthew's gospel begins with a genealogy.